So welcome to another edition of Author Speak with myself, Karoline Bethea-Jones, and my co-host, Renee Marshall McKinnley. Hey, Renee, how you doing?
Hey. All right.
I know, it's the first day of the year, Renee.
Yes, ma'am. Happy birthday.
That's right. and we're blessed to have our first author of the year. Yes, Miss Debbie Farrand. Did I say that correctly?
You did. Hello, ladies.
Hello
Thank you for
there.
hosting me.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. And you are our first author of January 2026. I'm going to have to get used to saying 2026. I know I'm going to say 2025 before it's all over. I know I am.
Too.
So forgive us already. Everybody.
And how long do we keep writing 25 on our checks, too?
Exactly. So Debbie, again, thank you for joining us. I'm going to give you a minute to talk about yourself. I know that you are an author with two books and one third book coming out. So let's give you a minute to talk about. Let's just talk about you. Tell us about yourself so we can get started, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So thrilled to be joining you.
Yes.
My name is Debbie Farrand. I am a retired elementary school teacher. And I always wanted to write children's books. It's always been a dream of mine. And I never had the chance to do it or the time, really working full time, raising my child. So in retirement, that was what I set out to do. And that is what I've done. I have 2 books published and another on the way. I've always loved reading and language arts. For almost a dozen years, I taught a 4th grade gifted and talented class, and I did Shakespeare with them, things like that. So I love words and I love books and love bringing my ideas to children.
Yes.
I love to do it.
Yes, it's always good when you love what you do.
That's for sure.
Something you right, Renee? When you love what you do, you ain't working at all.
It's never worked.
That's for sure.
Fun. It's fun. So it sounds like writing books is fun for you. But I want to talk a little bit about, because you said now you're retired now, right, from the education?
Yes, I am retired from teaching elementary school.
Okay, I'm still in education right now. You know, I'm a secretary at one of the technical schools. That's how I met you at NJEA.
Right, that's right.
Wait.
I thought it was NJEA. Yeah.
It is NJEA, right? It is.
NJEA, yes, that was it.
NJEA, the conference, the educators conference.
That's right. Yep, the teachers convention, we affectionately call it. The teachers convention,
absolutely correct. That's right. But you had said something. You said that you didn't find the time while you were teaching, and in retirement now that you are writing and you're doing what you love. But because this is a very important question to me, because you know I'm going to be retiring myself in a couple of years. I always had that whole thing, right? Trying to do what I love and trying to work at the same time.
That's it.
It's crazy. But tell me how you did it. Did you do your first book before you retired, and you didn't start writing until after you retired?
Right. I had a lot of ideas. When the kids used to do creative writing in class, I would also write at my desk. So I did writing, but seriously getting involved with it was just after retirement. Okay. Not even a month or 2 after I retired, I took a course called Writing Children's Picture Books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was at the Montclair Public Library. It was a professor from Montclair State University who came in and taught the course. Wow. So we learned how to write a children's book, what it entailed, how many pages, things like that.
Okay.
So I learned how to do it. Yeah. You know, and when I go around to schools and stuff reading, my books to kids, I always tell them it's never too late to keep learning or go back to school, because I did, even after I had taught almost 35 years and retired, I still found myself back in a classroom situation.
Yeah, and that's very important, Renee, isn't that right?
It's a good message for sure.
Yeah, we're always learning something somehow or another, whether we're reading other authors' books, whether we're in a class studying for something for ourselves, we're always learning.
Absolutely.
Very true. Very true.
And finding time to do the things that we love. Both of me and Renee are in so many things right now, but we love every single thing that we're doing. And so so we know the importance of trying to find the time
to
do the things that you love.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's talk about your first book, The Pale Tale. How did that come about? Yes, there you go.
Can I show it?
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
please.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the one I saw was yes. So tell me, how did that come about?
Well, it actually came about as a homework assignment from this course I was taking.
Oh.
The professor said, I want you to go home and I want you to write down a bunch of ideas. Whenever something strikes you, write it down on a piece of paper and leave it. And then right before class, look at it, see which one really speaks to you. Which one do you think you could spin a story out of? So about that time, we had taken my son he used to go to a religious retreat in Cape May, New Jersey, before he had his driver's license. We dropped him off, and my husband and I went for a walk on the beach, and it was fall. And I said, oh my gosh, I said, what about a little Pale on a Beach story? And I wrote it down in the notebook and let it go. Okay. And then the more I thought about it, I couldn't shake that idea of developing a story about a little Pale on a beach and his escapades and things like that. So that's where the idea came from, was this walk on a beach as a result of the homework assignment.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. And Renee, that would be interesting, especially since we're going to talk to Debbie also about our Writing with Friends project. But yes, it's also good for us to learn about how just an idea, just an idea can give you everything that you need to write a full story, whether it's a short story or a children's story or a full novel or even a movie or a TV show.
Yeah,
it starts from an idea. Mm-hmm.
So Debbie, when you got the ideas and you went to class and you looked over your list, did you have like first idea, second idea, third idea? Did you have the name of the book?
Yes.
Okay, tell me.
I didn't have the name of the book.
Okay.
I had an idea about this little Pale being lonely and not knowing its true purpose. Why was it on an empty beach? You know, it starts with one night long after the beach was closed and the lifeguards went home and, you know, the moon came out to play. Just a Pale just sitting on the beach by itself.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what would be a good message to get through to children, you know, about this Pale? I wanted them to feel a sense of purpose and belonging. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of went from that lonely Pale, trying to weave a story around finding out who he really is by finding out first what he is not. And the first part of the story, a wave comes and takes the Pale off the beach and it ends up on a dolphin's head. And the dolphin says, oh, don't you love my new hat? And the Pale gets mad. I am not your hat.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's that picture.
Yes.
So
okay.
He realized, that's not it. He realizes that he's not a dolphin's hat.
Right.
So then the dolphin shook it off. The Pale then was lying on its side on the beach. And then a little crab sidestepped into the Pale. And he said, I have a great new home. This is a wonderful home for me. And the Pale said, I am not your home. Mm-hmm. So then he wanted the crab to walk out. So he realized he's not a hat. He's not a home. And then he was just kind of crying. What am I? What am I good for?
Figure it out.
The next morning when the sun comes up, a family comes to the beach and finds this little Pale by itself. And a little girl races toward it and picks it up and starts to fill it with sand and turn it over and make different sandcastles. Mm-hmm. And then the Pale realized, that's what I am. I'm important to a child. I'm making her happy. This is what I'm good for. This is what I am. And at the end of the day, the little girl takes the Pale as she and her family leave, and they can't wait to come back tomorrow.
That is so sweet.
He found a purpose. He found what he's good for. So I thought it was a good message for kids.
Yeah. Found his home, found his people.
it teaches also too, by understanding what he's not, it teaches kids how to, at an early age, define themselves before they are defined. before they're defined by others.
Others, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought. This pail was all by himself. He discovered it.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of empowering for a young child.
Yeah, I think it's empowering even for us, Renee.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Because even we sometimes allow ourselves to be what people think we should be.
Mm-hmm. They project on us and we
Yes.
receive it. Yep.
That's true.
Until it
Instead
becomes too much and we go, no, we're not doing that.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
Right. But this pail understood from the beginning.
From the beginning.
No, I'm not a hat. No, I'm
Right.
not a home for a crab.
Right.
But he understood his purpose. And which is great about the story is because we understand the purpose of a pail on the beach.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
But what I do like about the story, Debbie, is that he could have been a hat, right? He could have been a hat. And he could have been a home for a crab.
Right. Right. He could have, but knew that wasn't what he was.
Yes.
Yes.
That wasn't his calling.
Show you quick. Here's the crab, coming out of the pail and he's crying. What am I? What am I good for? And then here comes the family with the little girl racing. Sees the
she's
pail,
excited. She's excited.
and she picks it up and then starts to, make sandcastles with it.
Right. Oh, sweet.
And then at the end, she takes the pail, hugging it under her arm as the family leaves.
Oh,
Can't wait to come back tomorrow. So the pail was happy. At the end, you see a smile with the pail.
And that's when you know you're in your calling, when it truly makes you happy.
Yeah.
Very true.
And Renee, to your point, Renee, sure, even us as adults, we can be all of the titles that people throw on us.
Yes.
We could be them all.
Yes.
But we're the happiest when we are truly walking in our calling.
Yeah.
That is so well said. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I love it. I love it when a children's book can also be a teaching for adults as well. And most of the children's books are.
Yes, they are. I try to have a purpose or have a child see themselves in this position.
Definitely. So quick question. I saw that the book was illustrated. Now, are you also an illustrator or did you
I'm not an illustrator. This was illustrated by someone named Alex in Canada. He was fabulous. It was my first book and he held my hand through every step of the process.
Wow.
How did you find Alex?
I found him I self-published both of these.
Okay.
So I found him on a website recommended to me called Fiverr, Fiverr.
Okay.
It's like for gig work, I guess.
Yes,
and I typed in children's book illustrators.
Okay.
And they have illustrators from all over the world. That was important to me to find someone who spoke English so that my vision would, because when I have the manuscript, I have the pictures exactly in my head as I want them. And I write that in red on the page. I just don't have the talent or the ability to do it, but I know in my head how I want it to look.
Yes.
Right, because that's the tricky part for me in my head to see when you have a vision or you think because sometimes you don't always have the vision. You might have just a little idea of how you want it.
Yeah.
And to try to communicate that to someone else and for them to be able to deliver. So was there a lot of give and take? Did you have a lot of I need this revised. This is not
not for my first book.
Okay.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
In fact, it was his idea to have the wave come out with the pail, taking the wave out. I just said I wanted it on a dolphin's head. So he worked. He saw the vision. He understood it. I can't rave about him enough. He was wonderful.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yes, he was wonderful. Not a lot of give and take. Second book, not so much with the illustrator, but he was a dream.
Yeah. So the second book is called King Jack, No Beanstalk.
Right. That's this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Karoline.
No. I was gonna say let's talk about King Jack.
Yes, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a twist on the old fairy tale. I know they do fractured fairy tales and twisted tales. And I just thought I could do something like that. I could change it up using the same premise, but not exactly. So that's why it's King Jack, no beanstalk.
I was wondering why didn't he have a beanstalk?
No, he didn't have a beanstalk.
So what is it about?
Okay, so this book is about a little boy and his mom who are desperately poor.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have money, so he takes his mom has asked him to take their beloved cow to auction.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like the King Jack, and he just like the regular Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
And he's so upset. It's his family pet, and he loves him, and loves her, does not want to do that. And anyway, he gets an idea. He knows that there's a farm nearby where they have sunflowers that grow to the very, very tall to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And that these sunflowers have like gems, they're magical sunflowers. And if he could just somehow get his hands on these sunflowers, his family would have the money that they need because they're magical. They can produce these, maybe there's gems inside.
Yeah.
So he has that idea.
That is very different. Yeah.
He has this grand idea, but doesn't tell his mom about it. So he sets off thinking, the mom said goodbye, thinking that the cow is going to be sold at auction.
Yes.
And what he ends up doing is going to this farm, and he decides he wants to try to get to the magical sunflowers.
Okay.
And what happens is, on this enchanted farm, so happens that another cow lived there, and it was his cow's sister.
Oh.
And it was a very stern farmer came out and saw him. What are you doing? Trying to get to my sunflowers. And he sent an army of stinging red ants to hurt them and, trying to stop them. So anyway, the farmer came out, and Jack explained, I'm just trying to get some money so that I don't have to sell my beloved cow.
Yes.
And the farmer was angry at first and said, okay, he said, I'm not going to, get you into any trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go, but you have to leave your cow with me here. And I could use another dairy cow. And so Jack didn't know what to do. He didn't want to leave his cow to begin with. Yeah. But he kind of knew that was kind of, what he did was wrong. So he's here crying, having to say goodbye to his cow.
Oh.
So I guess the farmer kept him a few days and then said, you know what? I'm going to let you go ahead. Your mom's probably worried. Here's Jack. They're saying goodbye to his cow, and they're trying their tears make a little heart pool.
Oh. They were so sad.
Yeah, so sad for both of them.
Does the farmer give Jack at least a sunflower?
Nope, never gives him a sunflower. And he said, I'm really, I wanted to be a king. I thought I'd be a king in my family. We'd have all this money and these riches. And he comes home crying to his mom, had to come clean and tell her he had to leave their beloved cow behind.
Oh.
And the mother was so happy to have him back. She's hugging him. There's all hearts around.
Yeah.
He said, I wanted to be a king. I wanted to surprise you. We'd have riches. And what the mom tells him is that in his absence, their fortune had changed. Oh. One of her relatives have passed away and left them a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So they do have the money. They can get their cow back.
Oh. Okay.
And then he said, but I'm not a king. Like, I wanted to surprise you.
Right.
And it ends with her saying to him, you are already a king. You are the king of my heart.
Oh.
The mother says. Yeah. And then Jack says that was okay with him for now. He still sees himself with a crown. He's got ideas going.
Okay.
But
man, that's going to lead into another book.
Exactly.
Yeah. You left a little bit of
the cow is still with the farmer, so it can go in another direction. But he learned a lesson. He admitted when he was wrong.
Yes.
That he had done wrong. So when I inscribe the books, at fairs and things, I always say, be like Jack, I forget what exactly I say, but admit when you are wrong, love your family and your friends with all your heart, and that kind of stuff. So there's a message. He did wrong, but there was redemption at the end.
Absolutely.
So no matter what you do, it's not too bad that it can't be fixed. We all make mistakes, that type of thing.
Yeah.
If you come clean and admit what you did.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what he did to the farmer. And then again to his mom. Twice he had to own up to what he did. But that his heart was in the right place. He tried to get money to keep their cow.
Yes. And
You
sometimes
know?
tears are shed when there's, you have to make these hard choices.
Exactly. Exactly. He knew what he was doing was wrong, trying to trespass.
Yes.
Yes.
But in his child's mind, he thought, if I can get that money, we can keep our cow. We won't be as desperately poor.
That's right. I mean, you're right. It was a child's mind. So he's doing the best that he could with what he knows.
Exactly. Exactly. And he's held accountable,
Yes.
by the farmer and by the mom too,
by
for
the
saying,
mom.
I appreciate what you did, but
yeah. Oh, sweet.
Yes, it is sweet. Now you have a new book that's going to be released at the end of this month, at the end of January.
Yes, hopefully the end of January it'll be out.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, that book is called Bruce's Braces.
Oh.
And what it is, it's a little wild boar.
Okay.
And he lives in a house with his mom and dad, and he has friends he plays with and plays tag and plays ball. And he loves his life. He's a happy little boar. Till one day he was playing tag in the forest. He ran into a tree and got hurt very badly. And he said, oh, why do I have to have teeth outside my mouth because of the boar's tusks?
Yeah.
Why can't I have teeth inside my mouth like most other animals?
Right.
And his friends say, well, Bruce, we're wild boars. That's how our teeth are.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Look at, I'm hurt and this and that. And anyway, the upshot is he gets in his head that he wants to get braces. And he asks his parents one night, can I get braces? And they said, what? Braces on your teeth? We're boars. We don't have braces on our teeth.
Right.
He said, I know, but this is what I want. So one page shows the parents at night after they tucked him in, sitting at their kitchen table, going over all paperwork, seeing if they can afford braces. They're going to try to indulge him. So he makes an appointment with a dentist, Dr. Barry Bohr. And he says, are you sure you want this? He said, boars don't have teeth like you're asking for. He said, I know. He said, I want my teeth inside my mouth so I can play and not get hurt, but I'll still be me. And that's the theme throughout the whole book. He gets the braces on. He comes to show his friends. He's all happy with his shiny braces on, his two big tusks. They all said, you don't look like us. This is what wild boars are. So his parents, his friends all try to talk him out of it. Parents let him go ahead with it. For 2 years, he wears the braces.
Yeah.
But he tries to tell his friends, I'm still me, don't you see? But now I'll be able to eat my favorite food, pizza, even easier. And I have him at a table eating pizza. I'll be able to kiss my mom goodnight without my teeth getting in the way. Yeah. And I have a thought bubble with him, his mom leaning over his bed, kissing him. And one of the friends says, oh, girls and kissing are yucky, and that kind of thing. So he kind of meets obstacles at every step of the way, but keeps saying, I'm still me.
Right.
So two years later, he gets his braces off. He goes, he calls the friends. He said, I'm home. He said, who's up for a game of tag? And one of the friends says, only if you're it. And they ran off to play. So nothing has changed. He's still him. Now just he doesn't have the teeth outside. The pictures will show he's got little teeth inside his mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. So the theme throughout it is he looks different, but he's still me inside. Yeah, okay. Nothing has changed. I'll still be a friend. We can still play tag, and So it's being proud of who you are and not being afraid to think differently. He didn't care if he looked different. He knew he wanted this. So I think that's an important lesson with so much peer pressure. And stuff. Well, the kid's trying to conform to be like other people.
That's right.
He was unafraid to stand by himself in this.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you self-publish, and me and Renee are also self-publishers as well. So can we talk a little bit? Renee loves to talk about the self-publishing process. So, and so let's talk about it a little bit. So how was it for you? And did you go through KDP?
That's exactly what I did.
Okay.
And this first illustrator, Alex, that I work with, had done this many times before. So he formatted for me and told me all the steps to do. And my husband's kind of a tech guy, so we're able to upload and do all that. And I did it that way because when I took the writing class, as soon as I retired, the professor said, you can do whatever you want. She said, but it's been my experience that if you write a book and hand it to a publisher, they can make changes. They can do different things with it.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. So she said, so I thought in my head, if I wrote this story and I have these ideas in mind, I don't want it changed. So that's why I decided to self-publish.
And it's so funny, Debbie, because that's the reason why me and Renee.
Really?
Yes. I have been a self-publisher since like 2001.
Oh,
right?
Really? Yeah.
Yes. And I have people who ask me, why don't you just go? Your books are great. And you would get more traction if you just went to a regular publisher. Why don't you just go to a regular publisher?
Exactly.
But like you, I'm a very creative person. And I don't want my creativity stifled because of rules.
Yes.
I agree with you. Well said. Yeah.
I want to be able to I want to be able to, like your characters in your book, I want to be able to be me. Even if it means that I'm going to be different from somebody else, I'm okay with just being me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, I enjoyed self-publishing. First, it's still a struggle. It was a struggle, but I learned so much in the struggle, right? You're giving your book to somebody else and then they may potentially change it, but then you don't learn the process.
You don't learn the process.
Good point. Yes.
Don't learn the process. And so now it's a bit easier. I'm more familiar. So when it's time to write or publish or upload and all those kind of things, I have the structure and I know how to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah.
And those things are very important to me. So where can we find your books? On Amazon?
Right. So yes, definitely Amazon. And I also have a business card. I'm going to have a link tree for a little while longer, which is linked to my email address. I can give that to you, and I can mail out books if people reach out to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said link tree?
Yeah, link tree is the forum I'm on right now.
Okay.
My email address is, which is on here, TDC, Tom, Dog, Cat, Farrand, my last name, TDCFARRAND, and it's at gmail.com. So anyone could mail me directly or email me and I'll send them out books. I also do, fairs and craft shows and things like that. So I sell on the spot as well, or people can reach out.
That's what I was going to ask you too. Yeah. So I know you and Karoline connected because of the NJEA.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also vended at NJEA some years ago myself. Yeah. So in my younger days, I used to love vending. I would vend every single weekend, 3 times a week for years. But as I got to become a person, the website
a lot of work.
Was wonderful.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
So
a lot of work, and it's a lot of setup and dragging stuff. And I make a setup of like an ocean, for like the pail. I have shells and pails. Beanstalk, I have sunflowers and a cow, and a crown. So it's a lot to set up. You're right. It's a lot. You're right.
It's a lot to do. So I'm grateful that, Amazon, we can just share the link.
Exactly.
But, that's where the marketing comes into play.
That
you gotta tell everybody.
Exactly.
I have to admit, though, I kind of miss.
Me too.
I kind of miss being out there independent. I'm thinking about maybe even this summer, since I have my new book that's coming out in May. I'm thinking about maybe this summer even finding places that I could actually go to, because I have all my other books, and then I could at least get back into the swing of things, because I have been out of the swing of things for so long. So I personally kind of miss doing the vending. So maybe I'll look into it again, over the summer or something.
Because you meet nice people too,
I met
people are genuinely interested in your story.
That's it. That's
the piece for me that I miss. The setting up, the actual selling. That's not even the fun part. You're grateful that you get to sell, but it's the connecting with other people.
That's exactly.
Whether they are vendors or customers, that's the part that I actually miss.
Yes.
That's exactly right. You are absolutely right about that. That's the part I miss too.
Yes.
I miss just being able to talk about my stories.
Yeah.
To people like you said, Debbie, people who are interested, who really are interested in hearing about you. They come to those things because they are interested in authors. They're interested in authors. They're interested. That's why they're there.
Yes. When I was a teacher, I would always go to the Authors Alley section, of the NJEA convention, because I knew one day I wanted to be that. I wanted to see how it's done, all that kind of stuff, and literally talk to the authors. So I always enjoyed doing that, even before I became one.
Debbie, how long before? So I know you had to retire, but how early on did you want to be an actor? Oh, excuse me. That's another hat I wear. Did you want to be an author before you?
Oh, I would say many, many years. I was always a good writer, I thought. In fact, I won a contest when my son was little. A newspaper, the Star Ledger, put out a contest when the Shrek movie was coming.
Oh,
I don't know if you had to write an alternate ending. I forget what the contest was, but I won it.
Nice.
They loved my writing so much, I won it.
Yeah.
And the prize was we got to walk the green carpet instead of the red carpet at the Shrek premiere in New York City.
Oh, wow.
And we got all kinds of swag and Shrek dolls and all kinds of stuff. My son was, he was only little. He was at a table coloring with like celebrities, children at this event. And so my writing, had won me that. But even before that, I loved to write. My dad said he was hoping I'd become a journalist because he always thought my writing was so good. So I would say probably since I've been little, I used to write poems and stuff.
Wow.
So I've always loved it.
Do you still have those? Like, was it a journal entry or did you just write them down and
no, unfortunately, I didn't keep, the winning entry for the Shrek. But I did come across some stuff when I was retiring, stuff I had written when the kids were writing that I did. And I said, I like these ideas. Maybe they can be developed into books now that I have the wherewithal to do it.
Now you have the time. Now you have
the time even more so.
That's it.
My goodness.
I have so many stories that I started.
Yeah.
Even beyond what I'm doing right now. I have a couple of children's stories. I was telling Renee, keeps telling me publish. So every time I hear somebody talk about their children's story, I do want to get more information. So I wrote down what you was talking, and I'm going to see if I can also
Karoline.
Connect with a illustrator, because that's the part that it's the illustration. I'm not an illustrator at all.
Either.
Yeah. So
check out that Fiverr. That was recommended to me, and I found all my illustrators through there.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Because when you said that, that's what I said I'm going to do.
Wonderful. Good. I hope it helps you.
Oh, thank you. I know it will. I'm gonna look into it. So let's ask some author questions for our listeners out there. Let me see. Let me grab. I'm a grab one.
Yes, the author hat.
Not in order. Okay, so we already know. Okay, all right. So, what is the most difficult part of writing a book? Because I'm pretty sure we got individuals who say, "I want to write a book, but it's so hard."
Yes,
it is.
I think
Renee, you always say that, Renee.
I think it's a commitment.
I'm on their side.
It's so easy to lose your train of thought, put it in a drawer, say, I'll come back to it.
Yes.
But when I was at that course I took, I met some wonderful friends. And after the course, we maintained our friendship and have a little writing group.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Of course, we used to meet in person. One of the friends moved to Florida. I moved to the Jersey Shore. So now we Zoom and we kind of hold each other accountable a
Yes.
little bit, as
Yeah.
well as socializing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's one of the hardest parts, is staying committed to it, because life gets in the way and it's easy to put it on the back burner.
So
Yeah.
true. So
That's
true.
some very, very good advice because
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a writing room myself to
Good.
yeah, we're gonna get together with a few people who really love to write as well, and we're gonna get together and try to pool some ideas and just try to encourage one another. So me and Renee started this podcast for the same reason, to
Yes.
encourage us to
Yeah.
continue writing, to talk to writers, to get advice from writers, to, it's not even so much that advice, like, but just sharing ideas. You
Exactly.
learn so much from each other.
It's
And
all
that,
yeah, it's
that is, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say that's what's so important, is to other people's feedback, because my second book, The King Jack, I love onomatopoeia. I did it with my kids all the time in school. And I started, the teacher said, all right, 5 minutes, go. What do you want to do? And I just came up with this: move away from me.
Oh.
And like a cow saying that. And my one friend who's in my writing group, David, who sat next to me, said, oh my, because they had to read your first opening line if you were the writer on the spot. He said, oh, Debbie, that has to be a story. You have to develop. Why is this cow telling people to move away? I didn't think anything of it, but he pushed me and pushed me. And that's why King Jack became what it was, because of his encouragement. I have to know more about this cow. And it started with my love of words and the onomatopoeia I started with.
Yeah. And that's really, you said something there. That's how it started.
Yeah.
I credit my girlfriend for helping me with the strategy part of my new novel. I was stuck and thinking about, I wanted a drama that was really going to be dramatic. And I was going over a few things, and she says, well, what about this? And I said, wait. I was like, wait, that's really crazy. I said, that's crazy. And she said, yeah, but it's like a soap opera, and soap operas are crazy like this. And I started thinking, and I'm like, I guess so. Let's do it. So that's how I ended up with the dramatic spin of my latest book. So you're right. Talking to friends, being in a writer's group, talking to individuals, even on a podcast or anywhere you go where you're talking about the writing process.
Right.
That is how ideas pop into your head.
Yeah, absolutely. Very true.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you know what to write? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but Renee.
Yes.
This is a question that you would appreciate, because one of the things that Renee would always say to me is that she doesn't know how to come up.
Yep.
So that is when we started. And we're going to talk a little bit about our writing with friends, because that's how we started this thing that we have. It's called Writing with Friends.
Yes.
Because Renee's always telling me, I don't know how to come up with something to write.
I can't do it. And here's the reason I say that.
Yeah, so what we do with Writers with Friends, we make up a scenario.
Yes.
And then we all write about that scenario.
That's the part that Karoline Karoline didn't mention. So when I always say I can't do it. So my book, Pouring a Story of Sisterhood, was a true story. It was about me and my girlfriends.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to write something, and I knew it was going to be about sisterhood. So that came to fruition. But I always say to myself, man, I can't write like Karoline writes, because Karoline will get a person. She has the scenario. She does blah, 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 blah.
I have the whole story. I see the entire story before I write it.
Yes. So she challenged me last year during this podcast season to come up. She gave us a topic, and we had to develop it, a short story. And I did it. And I was like, I struggled. I'm not going to lie. I struggled because I don't feel comfortable in that yet.
Yes.
Yet. So I'm going to say yet. So
that's good.
Friends comes into play.
Yeah.
It's to challenge each other.
Hey, I think that's terrific because you might not have the initial idea, but boy, you can build from if something's given
Yes.
to you.
Yes. I
Yeah.
never had
So
the
true.
couldn't see. I couldn't see. But
So
what's funny
Debbie,
about that, so
yeah.
even in the story, I still used my sister's names, my brother's names, you know what I mean? So it wasn't all fictional.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay to write from the familiar.
Yes.
It really is okay.
Yeah.
Write from
Absolutely.
the familiar.
And
Yeah.
something that evokes a nice memory, like my nanny came over from Ireland
Yes.
when she was 15 with her father, came through Ellis Island.
Okay.
And she always said, my whole life, isn't this grand? Everything was grand, meaning wonderful or
Yeah.
good. So in A Pale Tale, when the dolphin has the pail in his head, this is my new hat. Don't I look grand? Because that was a
Oh,
nod to
gosh.
something I remember my
Yes.
beloved grandmother saying.
Yes. I
Absolutely.
love
Absolutely. Yeah. So
it.
Renee, you can use the familiar. You can
Yes.
start with what's familiar, but don't be afraid to branch out into even the absurd. Because like I said, when I was talking to my friend and she was like, "Oh, I got it. You should." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that is so crazy."
Yeah. And I think that's part of the fun, sometimes
Yeah.
suspending disbelief. Like a little boar can't
Yeah.
play tag,
Oh,
or get
Yeah.
braces on his teeth.
Sometimes you have to go into the little bit of the crazy, right?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
what a story is, right?
yeah. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. You should be able to do with the story whatever you want.
I
Right?
agree.
I am opening up more to that after our last project because
Yes.
we're in the phase of a new project. So Caroline,
Yes.
tell about the
No,
project.
Renee, won't you tell her about the new project that we're doing?
No, I don't have it written down. Caroline, why don't you do it? No, okay. So
But
I
I
do.
don't have it written down, Renee. I'm sure you do.
Oh, it will appear.
Look, it's in my head, and I keep, okay. Here's what we came up with. Was that last year? Yeah, the end of last year. So we closed out our season with the beginning short story for
Yeah.
26 that we're inviting all of our authors to participate in, if they so choose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the concept. The person that we were interviewing was mentioning that they wanted to write a book about their illnesses.
Illnesses.
Illnesses and how to deal with them, manage them, how people would treat them and such. So the concept was we come up with the short story is a person has illnesses or chronic disease or
Chronic disease or,
yeah,
Yeah.
that they had to research and investigate
Yeah.
and learn how to manage to treat themselves and thrive and strive while having those illnesses, chronic diseases, and learn how to adjust to when people don't understand how they
Ah.
feel and try to talk about what it was like to feel the illnesses that they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the concept for 2026. So write a short story, your chronic illness, describing what it is, how you overcame it, talk about the long story about it, how your family treated you in the process, whether you got healed, maybe you didn't, and how can you manage it?
Yeah.
Yes. I think that could be a really encouraging tool for someone in that position. Like one of my dear friends was diagnosed with breast cancer and had surgery December 3rd.
Yeah.
And I wanted something for her. I found a book. It was letters from breast cancer survivors, just all penned together in a book. And I ordered that book and sent it to her. And she said, just reading these other people's stories gave me encouragement. They haven't survived what I have now, what I'm living through.
Right.
So I think it can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's helpful, but it was twofold too. It was a way for us to be able to do that as well, of course, but it was also part of the process of writing. We're trying to educate and teach as well. This is what this podcast is about too. We want to educate, we want to teach. So it gave you an opportunity to research, because research is part of the writing process.
Yeah.
It gave you an opportunity to start jotting down ideas and characters and themes and stuff like that. It puts you in a position to really get deep down into the writing process, the
Yeah, it is a
gathering of
process.
information, the getting the information before you start.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm able to write a book from start to finish in my head before I even pen anything is because the first thing I do is think about characters. I think about the position the character is going to be in. What is this character doing? So Renee's scenario, what she was talking about, already you're thinking, my character has some kind of chronic illness.
At least that's a start.
What will it be?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah.
I suffer from fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm well familiar with that. A family member has it.
Yes.
Wow.
So I decided that my character would have fibromyalgia. Why? Because it's an illness that I can really relate to. I can talk about. I can write about the days that I wake up in so much pain. This morning, for instance, I woke up with total pain everywhere, starting from my shoulder and just everywhere.
Yeah.
So I can write a story that puts a character in that position, you know, and I can understand it, while at the same time it's fiction. That means it's not me. I'm not writing about me. I'm writing about somebody else, and that somebody else could be doing other things. Like what are they doing?
Yeah.
Now, for me, I praise God, I don't suffer from anything that's chronic. Thank you, Jesus. But I'm going to have to do some research.
Research is good. I still have to do research.
I have some creative research.
Yeah.
So no, that's part of the fun with writing with friends. And what we do at the end of the year, we pull them all together. It's no right or wrong. No, your idea. It's the concept, your story, and we put it all together and we produce a book at the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's one book. Everybody's name is in the, on their title and all that kind of great stuff. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and especially for those who want to write a book but have get started.
Right. You're part of something.
You're part
the pressure's off for you to produce something on your own.
It's not
never have done it before.
Yeah, it really isn't for everybody. Everybody should be able to do it, but it's not everybody.
Right.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to say everybody should be able to do, because we all have different callings.
Oh yes, but I mean, tell a story. That's what I mean. Not should be able to pull it. Produce an entire book. That's not what I meant. Yeah. Everybody should be able to tell their story, but they may not be able to put it into a book.
I got you. Yes, because everyone does have a story to tell. That's true. Living life gives you a lot of info for stories.
So, of course, Deborah, we invite you, if you would like to be a part of that challenge, you certainly can. And you have a whole year to submit a short story.
Yeah. Can you, is it about knowing someone or something with a chronic illness?
You don't have to know anybody. You can make it up. It's fiction. Make it up.
Okay.
Karoline just happened to have it, so she's going to write.
I just happen to have fibromyalgia, so I'm going to write about it. But
trust me, her character won't be Karoline.
No, she will not be Karoline at all. She'll be somebody else, doing something else, totally something else.
It might even be a man by the time she's finished.
Right. And this is where the creativity comes in, because now you get to choose whoever you want.
Yes.
And put them in any scenario you want to put them in. It could be simple. It could be elaborate. It could be a he who's a pilot. It could be a she who's a doctor herself and trying to figure out how, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be an ordinary person who just simply can't get through the day. Whatever I choose it to be.
Yeah.
And whatever you choose it to be.
No parameters. It's just that it's a story, right? So 2 to 5 pages. Yeah. Or if you want more, that's fine. But don't feel compelled. Yeah.
So I'm understanding it's an ordinary person which has challenges. It could be different challenges from the fibromyalgia you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't want you to write about fibromyalgia. I want you to write about anything.
Yeah. Somebody who has like a medical challenge or something, but they can.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let me give that some thought and see what I can develop with that.
Okay.
Thank you for that invitation.
And what we'll do is we'll send you an email with all the information, and you can make a decision then. And if you decide you can, contact us through email.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask this question though. So what are your favorite books to read? I know you are a children's writer, but what are your favorite books to read? What do you
Yeah.
read, Debbie? What do you read?
I really like mysteries. I used to read a lot of Gene Coon's kind of thriller type mysteries. I
Okay,
like that.
okay.
I also like a nice biography.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I know lots of people who like biographies. My husband
Yeah.
loves biographies. I can get with a good one myself,
Yes.
but
Uh-huh.
I was
I love drama.
I was a Harry Potter. I was a Harry Potter fanatic. Started to read
Oh,
Okay.
all those big thick books.
Mhm.
You know when you're growing up, it's the Cat in the Hat, those type of things.
Of
that's
course.
right. Yeah.
Good night.
But I'm talking about as an
Yeah.
adult. What do you read as an adult?
As an adult right now, Renee,
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah.
reading other than the Bible because I don't have time for that. I don't have capacity. Caroline has me working, so I don't have capacity to read a book. And I used to read a book all the time. I was an avid reader. Now,
Mhm.
today, I am not so much a reader because I'm
Mhm.
writing. And then the people who we do interview, I try to read their books as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in terms of a personal person or somebody I like, no, not so much anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Mhm. Well, I've read all of
Okay.
Caroline's books.
So Debbie, what's the most surprising thing you learned while writing your book?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah.
I
I
think
like
I
that
was
question.
surprised that I could make my dream
Yeah.
into a
Okay.
reality. It's
Yeah.
something I've long dreamed about since I was a little girl. And then I won that contest. And I always thought about it down the road. And I think I surprised myself that I followed through, stuck to my
Yeah.
dream, and was able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
That surprised me in a positive way.
Good. And
It-
we're glad that you stuck with your dream too.
Yes.
thank you. Thank you.
Because mine was similar to Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I could do it. I wasn't so confident, but I kept going and kept going. And then it was in my hands.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. Yes. Yeah. I guess it's that perseverance, and you have to have that underlying belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
That's
And you
that's
definitely have
huge.
to
That's the
follow
most
through.
part.
Yeah.
And you definitely have to follow through. There's lots of would-be writers. They say, I want to be a writer, and they start, but they never finish.
They don't fit exactly.
Yeah.
Same. That's what I was talking about with pulling the people into
Yes.
our book, right?
Yes. Yes. So what important advice following that, what important advice would you give a first-time writer? Because I know how difficult it is when you're starting out for the first time doing
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I would say set a goal for yourself. Hold yourself accountable. If this is something you really want to do, say by the end of February, if you're writing a novel, I'll have the first 15 pages written.
Mm.
Short-term goals that you feel you can achieve, because a long-term lofty goal sometimes seems out of reach for people, and they may tend to give up rather than push forward. So I say maybe short-term goals
Yeah.
would be good advice.
Yeah, I agree. Even
Yeah, try to
starting
set
as
aside
simple,
some time, and
Yeah.
For me, I would say don't worry about the title.
Oh yeah,
Because a
that
lot of
comes
times
last, right?
Yes, a lot of times people have a
Please.
title in their head and they go, "Oh, I got to just make it this," but it could turn into something else. So
Right, yes, good
just
point.
write something.
So funny.
That's true, Renee.
I don't even put my title in until I actually have my whole entire book concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I think
sometimes
you're
in the
right.
writing process, sometimes the title just comes up,
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's not even the first thing I'm thinking about at
Yeah,
all.
exactly, that's true. As the story unfolded with the pale tale,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, this is a story, a tale. It's a homonym." It kind of came through as he went through these adventures. I didn't have it right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know
So
what?
that's the last thing you need to be worried about, the title.
You know what I found difficult? The very first word.
Yeah, you said that before.
I did, and
Very
I
first word.
still the very first, because I know our synopsis right now, and it's still for me the very first word. What's the? How am I going to start it? What's the?
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Motivated.
Yeah, and it's so funny because that really is the hardest thing, because even for me, even though I have my entire book in my head, sometimes how to start, like what should I say first?
Yes.
It's really something that, sometimes it happens on a Tuesday.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That might be how it started.
Right.
It happened on a Tuesday.
Wow.
exactly.
You know?
And I used to tell my kids when I taught writing, you want to start with something catchy that
Mhm.
will grab the reader right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I thought of that onomatopoeia with the move away
Mhm.
from me with the
Yeah.
cow talking to Jack.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
something catchy, but it's not always easy to come up with that.
Yes.
You know?
It's not. It's not always easy. But I would think that we all agree that one of the greatest advice we can give to anyone is to just keep writing.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Just keep writing. So,
And there's
Debbie,
no
I'm going to
right or
give
wrong.
you, there is no right or wrong, Renee,
Yes.
none at all. You
Right,
just
that's
write
true.
it.
Yep.
Because it's right for you.
Yes.
It's your story in your head
That's
and
the,
makes it right.
that is the key.
Exactly.
That's the
Keep
key.
on. So, Debbie, before we leave, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about what do you want to say to our listeners? What do you want to leave with? What is your last words? What do you want to say?
Oh, I wanted to thank you for having me on
you're
here.
welcome.
And I'd like people to go to Amazon, get my books, A Pale Tale and King Jack.
Mhm.
But I'd also like people to know that if you write with your heart, I
Yeah.
think that's the most important thing that comes up, whether within an adult novel or a children's book. I
Yeah.
think writing from your heart to reach people,
Mm.
I think is extremely effective because everyone can relate to something
Something.
in some way.
That's
So I
right.
think if you're honest and your book will appeal to the person who needs to hear or see that at the time.
Yes. Debbie, I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
That is great advice because all of us, the three of us on here right now are three totally different people. We have three totally different experiences.
Right.
Debbie's not trying to be Renee. Renee's not trying to be Karoline. Karoline's not trying to be Debbie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
We're trying to be
100%.
ourselves
Yes.
That's
because
right.
there's
That's
somebody out there who needs to hear from us.
right. Exactly how I
It's an
feel.
encouraging word. Absolutely.
Yes. So
Very
I
much
want to
so.
thank you, Debbie, for joining us today. Renee and I always have a blast talking to our new authors. We always learn so much, and we stay in touch with our authors. So
Yeah,
we'll
please do.
we'll stay in
Yes.
touch with you as well. We try to stay in touch with all of our authors, so we will be in touch. So, Renee, do you have any last words you want to say?
Debbie, thank you so much for sharing your craft with us. We appreciate you. We will definitely share your information with our audience. If you have
Please.
other authors that may be interested in this platform to have an interview with us, we welcome them. Just give them Karoline's information and make sure that happens. So we
Perfect.
appreciate you. Keep writing.
Yes, that's the key.
And we
Keep
wish you
at it.
lots of luck with your new book that's coming out at the end of this month. Please send us an email when it's out so that we can share that
Yes.
with
Perfect.
others as well. We
Oh, I
want to
appreciate that.
we want to share your triumphs.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Like we
thank you.
share our own. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't thank you enough. What a pleasure to have met the both of you and for your kind words. This has been an honor and a privilege.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you so much. So you've been listening to Real Talk with Real People Podcast Network, and this is our segment Authors Speak. Renee and I were happy today to have our guest today, Debbie Farrand. Am I saying that right?
Farrand.
Debbie Farrand. She was, as you all heard, she was a wonderful interview today. We hope you go out to buy her book. She has 2 children's books out right now, and she has another one that's going to be out at the end of this month. And please support our authors as they come on here because they really appreciate when you stop by and see them, talk about their books. Go to Amazon, purchase one for your kids. Just, help us out a little bit. We are self-published authors, so we don't get the same kind of marketing that regular authors get. But trust me, our stuff is good.
Well said.
So please share with your friends. We want to thank you. Next month, we'll be back with another author. And we're just going to keep doing this. We're just going to keep doing this because me and Renee love it. And we will talk to you soon. Everyone, thank you for joining us.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Debbie, thank you so much.